going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, if the headline made you do a double take, what's crazier is that this is only the most recent update stemming from a story all the way back on January 14th of 2021. That's right, almost a year ago, coming from one of the most trusted Hollywood trades with an excellent track record, indicating that Chris Evans was returning to the MCU as Captain America for one, if not two, future MCU movies. Well, in today's update coming from trusted industry insider Charles Murphy over at Murphy's Multiverse, he connects a lot of the dots, stories that have broken over the last year to paint a picture of exactly what kind of film this may be he's returning for. These are awesome details if true, and really says a lot about what Marvel may be doing aside from what they've already done at the beginning of Marvel Phase 4, filling in some of the blanks that were left during the Infinity Sagas in more prequels to come on the back of Black Widow. We're breaking down everything in this most recent report, and covering that original report that indeed Chris Evans is returning. Guys, this isn't coming from the rumor mill or even anonymous 4chan plot leaks. This is literally coming from one of the most trusted Hollywood trades. We're breaking down everything in Chris Evans' return as Captain America, but first, if you could consider hitting the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content here at this channel, and that's all we do. Everything from the anonymous 4chan plot leaks I just alluded to earlier, to official industry insider scoops, editorials, and the occasional Easter egg breakdown, trailer recap, that sort of thing. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That'll automatically enter you to win our next PS5 giveaway, which we're giving away at 920,000 subscribers and could easily hit by month's end or next week. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So originally, and as I mentioned all the way back on January 14th of 2020, almost a year ago, Deadline, which is one of the most trusted Hollywood trades, broke this headline. Captain America eyes return to the MCU as Chris Evans nears deal to reprise role in future Marvel project. Under the exclusive, they went on to report in a move that's sure to rock the MCU. Sources tell Deadline that Chris Evans is cleaning the dust off his Captain America attire as he's expected to reprise his role in the MCU film. Now, while all of the information about this has been completely vague and for the last year limited details, it went on to indicate that it wouldn't be for a future Captain America title, say Captain America 4, and there might be a possible second film included. And that's where we pick up today with trusted industry insider Charles Murphy. Now, if you're not familiar with him or his editorial Murphy's Multiverse, I'll go ahead and leave a link down to the source article in the description if you want to check it out. He's someone we've confidently re-reported on the last 2 or 3 years, is a trusted voice in the scoop game, and has an excellent track record. He went on to connect the dots, some of his own reporting mixed with the report here from Variety, to sort of paint a picture of the details of what might come in that next Captain America outing. First thing he pointed out was that they broke the story that Marvel Studios had trademarked Nomad. Now, while there's been other characters in the Marvel comic universe to wear the mantle of Nomad, most specifically, it's the version of Captain America Steve Rogers we saw right after Civil War, when he takes the stars and stripes off of his uniform and operates under the team, the Secret Avengers. That's coming directly from the Russos as how they referred to that team. Now, they go on to mention that the trademarks that were filed for the Nomad series are the ones that are generally associated with either a film or a Disney Plus series, but in all the rounds of announcements we've had in the last 12 months, there has been no mention at all of a Nomad series. He then goes on to point out that after the small and short-lived lawsuit between Scarlett Johansson and Disney Marvel Studios over her film Black Widow and the day-and-date release, it was confirmed that she's working with Kevin Feige on a top-secret Marvel project, presumably as an executive producer, but maybe even as a director, and that's yet to be seen. But who better attuned to work on something like a Nomad project that would focus on what happens with Steve Rogers after Civil War then, of course, Scarlett Johansson. Her character Natasha Romanoff played an integral role in his character arc, especially through the back end of the Infinity Saga. That is something right up her alley, and maybe even appearance by her as Black Widow, even though the initial report said it was a non-Black Widow related project. This would be very related to Black Widow. Now, the reason I report on this today is I actually want to take this report one step further, because as they were indicating, the fact that Black Widow kicked off Phase 4 and was a prequel could lead to the idea that Marvel Studios is open to doing more prequels. But keep in mind Chris Evans' original quote that he wouldn't want to do anything with the character because they, as he put it in his own words, stuck the landing, and it would really have to add something to the character. And that's exactly why I think they would do something like this, and with a character like Steve Rogers. Let me explain. Guys, of course, it would be an easy go to the well. Anything that leads into Infinity War, like releasing Rogue One that leads into a major Star Wars trilogy in a major moment, that will have some purchase power with the fan base. But the reason they would bring him back the reason they would need someone like Chris Evans, Steve Rogers to be a lead in this kind of series would be to really drive home where the story started with Secret Invasion. And hear me out. If the Skrulls are going to be of major consequence, if Secret Invasion is going to be the kind of series that we want it to be, their infiltration of the United States and the world at large would have started way previously, during the Infinity Saga, after we're introduced to them in the early 90s via Captain Marvel, and they would have been setting themselves up to strike. Now, the landscape in the MCU has changed drastically over the last 5 years, and I have a working theory in a video coming up as to what's going to actually be the catalyst for them to strike, instead of working under the shadows and in the background to actually come to the forefront, try to make their move on Earth. The Skrulls need a serious prequel story to set up all of the stakes, and what better character literally other than Nick Fury in the history of the MCU would there be to do this? So not only would you get the purchase power, like I said, of having a lead-in moment to a major series, but you go ahead and put out a film like Nomad that focuses on Steve Rogers, where he was after Civil War, and starts to establish the Skrulls as a major villain, and then you have a very serious tie-in and lead-in, a reason to bring Steve Rogers back, a reason to open up his story again, and Scarlett Johansson would be the perfect person to work on this. Remember, guys, it was seriously her arguing for the fact that instead of Hawkeye Clint Barton sacrificing himself because of his family, she was adamant about her doing it. She should have originally been in the final battle in Avengers Endgame, and she wasn't, because she knew it was right for her art to make that sacrifice for Clint Barton. She is a serious talent in front of and behind the camera. I'm super stoked about this, and while again, this is a major working theory, I have no evidence that the Nomad series would lead into Secret Invasion. I'm thinking out loud about why Marvel Studios would do this, why Chris Evans would agree to come back, what Scarlett Johansson would want to do with the top secret Marvel project, and all the dots seem to connect. So again, Charles Murphy, great work in looking at these in the reports and the stories, but to me, something like a major prequel like this has to be for a reason, and that reason would be to set up the next major crossover for Marvel Studios. Guys, let me know all your thoughts, comments, concerns down below. Would you be hyped for Chris Evans' return? I think it's a lot more likely now at this point in lieu of a Tony Stark return, but also the fact that Variety weighed in, or Deadline. I don't know if I'm wrongly attributing that. Deadline, the fact that Deadline weighed in, and if I said Variety earlier in this video, I apologize. The fact that Deadline weighed in with this report, you can trust it. And really, if you're wondering, we have nailed every single Disney Plus series, by the way, guys, in the last 2 years. We've reported on them early, and they've all been right. We had the Agatha House of Harkness, Armor Wars, the Groot animated series. The only one that wasn't reported on, we didn't see coming, was the animated freshman year series for Spider-Man. I did not hear a report on that, but all the rest of them we've gotten. The ones we've reported on have been true, if you're wondering about that kind of track record. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, we're still giving away a PlayStation 5. The next one's at 920,000 subscribers, which could easily be tomorrow. We're also giving them away every 20,000 subscribers on the way up to 1 million. And in the coming weeks, we're going to be announcing some amazing giveaways for 950 and 1 million. So if you want to be entered for any of the giveaways here, as we sort of push up to 1 million subscribers, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. And because it's truly random, more videos you comment on, better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking that out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again soon, as I said, daily. See you later.